He didn't plan to stay long. Funerals weren't places he felt comfortable in, especially ones filled with powerful people pretending to feel something. But he stood quietly near the back, hands folded, eyes lowered. He wasn't there for the crowd. He was there for one man, Mr. Karim, the only person who had ever helped him when he was at his lowest. Years ago, when he had just lost his job and was struggling to raise his daughter alone, everyone else had turned away. Mr. Karim hadn't. No questions, no judgment, just a small opportunity that kept him from losing everything. That kind of kindness never leaves a man, so he came. The ceremony ended with polite claps and quiet whispers. People began to leave quickly, already returning to their lives. That's when he noticed her. She sat alone, slightly hunched, one hand resting on her pregnant belly, trying to hold back tears. No one approached her, no one acknowledged her presence. It was like she didn't belong there. He tried to ignore it, he really did. But something about the way she cried silently reminded him of the nights his daughter used to cry when she thought he wasn't listening. That quiet pain, it was something he couldn't walk away from. So he stepped forward. He didn't say anything dramatic. He simply offered her a tissue and sat beside her. "You shouldn't be alone," he said gently. She looked at him surprised, like she hadn't expected anyone to notice her. "I'm used to it," she whispered. That answer stayed with him. "Did you know him?" he asked. She nodded slowly. "More than anyone here ever will." There was something deeper in her voice, something heavy. Before he could ask more, she leaned closer and said quietly, "I think I'm in danger." His body tensed. He followed her eyes without turning his head. Near the exit, a few men stood too still, watching too carefully. They weren't grieving, they were waiting. "For you?" he asked under his breath. She nodded. "Why?" Her voice trembled. "Because of what I know." That was enough. He stood up without hesitation. "Come with me," she hesitated. "You don't even know who I am." He gave a small, tired smile. "I don't need to." Something in his voice made her trust him. They moved quickly but calmly, avoiding attention. He guided her through a side exit, past empty corridors until they reached the parking lot. The air outside felt lighter, but the tension followed them. They got into his car. He started the engine and drove without looking back. For a few minutes, neither of them spoke. Then she finally said, "My name is Amina." He nodded and told her his name. "Why are you helping me?" she asked. He kept his eyes on the road. "Because someone once helped me when they didn't have to." Her eyes softened. Then his phone rang. Unknown number. He ignored it. It rang again. He answered this time. "You made a mistake," a cold voice said immediately. His grip tightened on the wheel. "Wrong number. Take her back," the voice continued. "Or you'll regret it." The call ended. Silence filled the car. Amina looked terrified. "They found us." He exhaled slowly, thinking fast. "Then we don't go home." "What?" "They'll expect that." "We go somewhere else." She nodded, trusting him now more than ever. After a moment, she reached into her bag and pulled out a sealed envelope. Her hands were shaking. "This is why they're after me," she said. He glanced at it briefly. "What is it?" "Proof," she whispered. "Mr. Karim didn't just die. He was killed because he was about to expose them." His mind raced. "The company?" he asked. She nodded. "They've been stealing, laundering money, destroying lives, and he found out. I helped him gather evidence. And now they want it back," he said. "And me gone," she replied. He didn't respond, but his decision was already made. There was no turning back now. He drove toward an old place outside the city, somewhere quiet, somewhere no one would think to look. Not safe forever, but safe enough for the night. As darkness settled around them, he realized something. This wasn't just about helping someone anymore. He had stepped into something far bigger than himself. And somewhere deep down, he knew by morning everything would change. The small house was quiet, tucked away from the noise of the city. It wasn't much, but it was safe for now. He locked the door behind them and checked the windows out of habit. Amina sat down slowly, exhausted, her hand resting over her belly again. "You can rest," he said softly. She nodded, but her eyes stayed alert. "We don't have much time." He leaned against the wall. "Then tell me everything." She took a deep breath. "Mr. Karim trusted me," she began. "I worked closely with him. When he discovered the corruption inside the company, he started collecting evidence, financial records, secret transactions, names of people involved. And you helped him," he said. "Yes. But we were careful, or at least we thought we were." Her voice cracked slightly. "They found out," she continued. "Not everything, but enough to know he was a threat. And they killed him," he finished. She nodded. "They staged it to look natural. No one questioned it. No one ever does when powerful people are involved." Silence filled the room. "Why didn't you go to the police?" he asked. "I tried," she said, her voice breaking. "But they're involved too. I don't know who to trust anymore." That hit harder than anything else. He ran a hand over his face, thinking, "So what's in the envelope?" "A storage key," she said. Everything is in a secure locker, documents, backups, recordings, enough to expose all of them. And they don't know where it is. They know it exists, she said. That's why they're desperate. He nodded slowly, then his phone buzzed again. This time it wasn't an unknown number, it was his workplace. He hesitated, then answered. Where are you? His manager snapped. Do you have any idea what's happening right now? What do you mean? He asked carefully. The company is in chaos, the manager said. Emergency board meeting. Executives panicking, and now your name is being mentioned. His stomach dropped. My name? Why? Because Mr. Karim left something behind, the manager replied. A legal document. It names you. The room felt smaller. What kind of document? He asked quietly. A will. Amina looked up, sensing the shift in his expression, and he asked. The manager's tone changed, almost disbelieving. He left you everything. Silence. What? He whispered. Shares, control, assets, everything, the manager said. You're now the majority owner. The call ended. He stood there, frozen. Amina stared at him. What happened? He struggled to find the words. He left me the company. Her eyes widened. Why you? He shook his head slowly. I don't know, but deep down he did. Because years ago when he had nothing, Mr. Karim had seen something in him, something honest, something loyal. And now he had trusted him one last time. Amina exhaled, almost in disbelief. That changes everything. He looked at the envelope in her hand. No, he said firmly. This changes everything. He stepped forward, his voice steady now. We expose them. She searched his face. You're risking everything. He nodded. I already did when I decided to help you. For the first time, she smiled through her fear. By morning, the truth would come out, the powerful would fall. And a man who once had nothing would use everything he had been given to do what was right. Because sometimes the smallest act of kindness doesn't just change one life, it changes the world. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe. Because sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create the biggest miracles. Join us for more powerful emotional stories that stay with you long after they end. Subscribe now and be part of the stories that truly matter.